enabler of that digital journey that the country is on. And it's also good to see that RAS has now moved on to the sort of a new level in terms of a separate company, a separate structure, a separate governance model, which I think was very timely and was important to take it now to the next level. Now, coming back to today's ceremony in Invest Park, it actually, jaise Governor Sahab aapne kaha, it ticks a lot of boxes. Part and parcel is, of course, the whole reform agenda that you were referring to in terms of the formation and the journey in terms of the government paper. Lekin isme, from where I sit, really two key aspects why this is the way forward. The first is obviously the technology part. Or technology mein hamesha main kehta hu faster, cheaper, better. And I think it's sort of what we heard from Mohammed Ali Saab, it does all of that. But I'll come back to that in a moment. But most importantly, what it does is democratization of investment. On a similar pattern, but in the private sector context, on the 18th of June, so while the entire budget process was still on, I thought it was important enough that we go and do the launch, which we did, Ministry of Finance in conjunction with Jazz Cash. A similar thought process there as well, कि आप 5,000 रुपए से Jazz Cash की app के through you can start investing in government paper in T-bills. So since then, कितने हो गए अभी? तो तकरीबन 1,000 investors have come in, which I think is important because to open that window up in terms of the ease of doing business and जो ये भी कहा गया कि you can do it from your own home, etc. So again, Jazz Cash has a certain customer base. The target market obviously is going to be low, which invests in government paper, but still I think is going to be meaningful enough in terms of sort of taking it forward. And the similar thing here with Invest Park, from what I understand, again, is that you can do it with 5,000 rupees, and this is something which from a retail investment perspective, I think is going to be great. Available obviously to corporates and individuals, but important कि जिस तरह हमने PSX में नए investors देखे हैं in the last 12 to 18 months, the way the number of, not only the overall quantum of the investors, but the number of youth and Gen Z which has come in. And the more we go on this type of digital journey, the more youth we can sort of bring in and have them as investors in government paper as well. So whatever we've seen on the equity side, I think it's a good story there. Fixed income पे हम थोड़ा सा पीछे रह गए हैं, and in terms of capital markets, etc. So I think once again this will sort of take us in that direction. So one is the whole technology part and the digital journey of Pakistan and why this is critical. The second part of it, from government's perspective, is diversification. Just before coming here, we met up with the bank CEOs and we talked about lending to the private sector and how this needs to be further buttressed and supported and increased as we go forward. लेकिन एक जो हमेशा बात आती है कि whether the government borrows too much and therefore there's a crowding out impact there, and maybe there is some aspect to that as well. So the more we diversify away from the banks, and especially those of you who are sitting from the NBFI industry, I think it's about time that you now step up. It makes sense from your business models in terms of ALM models that you also start thinking in terms of how you can sort of get into this discussion and help. अभी बड़ी अच्छी journey की बात बताई गई है कि I think we were in single digits and now I believe it's about 22%. But I think there's still a long way to go for NBFIs in this sense, and opening up these type of venues and avenues which are digitally enabled, I think is a fantastic way to go forward. So very, very important from a diversification perspective, ताकि ये जो aspect है कि we have too much reliance on the banking sector for government borrowing. I do think over a period of time we need to diversify so that the banks have the capacity and the willingness to actually come in and do what they need to do in terms of the private sector lending. The last thing I just want to say, Ghana Sahab, is that as we have launched it, I think aap sabko bahut mubarak ho. I think it's all the teams and the stakeholders who have helped to bring us to this stage. Lekin, like everything else, I think we should continue to work on customer journeys, because once people start using this platform, I'm sure aapko feedback aani shuru hogi in terms of the ease with which people can actually do iski jo connectivity and all of that. I think it's going to be very important that we keep a very close eye in terms of the customer journey and the client experience, because usi se phir aage trust and credibility aayegi for people to take forward. So I'm sure you'll keep a very close eye on it. And I'm sure also that over a period of time, all the good work that you've done here at the central bank, at some point in time, like RAST, this can also have a journey into a separate platform which is handled by a different governance model and the private sector. But I think it was very important that aapke yahan ages mein ye develop ho, and then it can take its own course the way RAS has done. So once again, I just want to congratulate the entire State Bank team. I think it's indeed a fantastic milestone for the central bank, for Ministry of Finance, for the government, and indeed for the people of Pakistan. बहुत शुक्रिया जी, thank you.
नाज़रीन, वज़ीर ख़ज़ाना मोहम्मद,
आपको बताएं कि कराची से ये बराह रास्त मनाजिर थे जहाँ पर वज़ीर ख़ज़ाना तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे थे। उनका कहना था कि इन्वेस्ट पाक पोर्टल जैसे डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म अहम संग मील है और मुआशरी तरक्की के लिए निजी शोबे का किरदार भी इंतहाई अहम साबित होगा। इन्वेस्ट पाक पोर्टल सरमाकारी के नए दौर का आगाज़ है। इस हवाले से इक़दाम किए जा रहे हैं। जैश के ऐप के ज़रिए 5,000 रुपये से सरमाकारी की जा सकती है और इनफरादी तौर पर की जाने वाली ये इन्वेस्टमेंट फ़ायदा मंद होगी। पाकिस्तान स्टॉक मार्केट में भी सरमाकारी करने वालों की तादाद में इजाफा हुआ। नौजवानों खुसूसन जेंसी को सरमाकारी की जानिब राग़िब करने की कोशिश की है। इन्वेस्ट पाक पोर्टल आलमी मयार की सहूलत फराहम करेगा और इन्वेस्ट पाक पोर्टल जैसे डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म अहम संग मील है। लाहौर समेत मुल्क के मुख्तलिफ शहरों में बादल बरस पड़े। बलूचिस्तान के ज़िला लसबेला में तूफ़ानी बारिश की वजह से दर्जनों कच्चे घरों की छतें उड़ गई।
खातून समेत 4 बच्चे जख्मी होकर मकामी नदी नालों में सैलाब का खतरा पैदा हो गया। लाहौर के बाज़ इलाकों में भी बारिश हुई। बादल बरसने से गर्मी और हब्स में कमी आ गई। महकमा मौसमियात ने कल से 10 जुलाई तक फिर मानसून बारिश की पेशगोई कर दी।